Welcome, Brockton. This is Richard Ripley, the Bat Bus Guy. I want to welcome you to the 22nd episode of my show, Bat Bus Guy. Today I have Mr. Clay with me. He's running for Brockton City Council at large. I invited him on again. He was on last week, and he has some more things he'd like to discuss. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Mr. Clay. It's all for you. It's all there. Just talk to the people.
Thank you, Richard. Good morning, good citizens of Brockton. This goes out to all the nationalities that we have. I was informed a few days ago about the corruption in Brockton. We as a people have to band together and tell the city councilman and the mayor that we will not go for this any more. We are tired of it. We need some changes, and Mr. Ripley is not, he's going to be the best mayor out there. Thing is, Moses is not what he says. We understand this, we know this, and we need a change. We want to fight back. There's corruption on buses, elderly getting hurt. A few months ago, there were 2 elderly who got hit by buses, and the mayor did not do anything to help them. They swept it under the rug. We need to be telling the city of Brockton, enough is enough. The money missing from the high schools, the money missing from the roads and sidewalks needs to end. We need our city back, and I ask you people of Brockton to please make a change. Vote for Steve Clay for a council at large. My other opponents, I do not know them, but I will get to know them at the next meeting that we have on August 16th, and I would like them to help us and me get to where Brockton is supposed to be. We need, as I said in the last episode, we need to bring back jobs to Brockton. The mayor has stopped a few of these companies from coming in. We have two new businesses that are booming right now because they are mom and pops stores. We need more of these to happen. We need to make Brockton safe. The 2-way streets in Brockton that the mayor is talking about is going to take a lot of money, and I do not know where it's coming from, but I do concur with Richard that we need to make a change. And I would ask you good citizens to vote for Richard and I so we can make that change together. Thank you so much.
Okay, okay, if I just ask you a couple of questions, we can get a few more
Sure.
time in. I just wanted to ask you one more question on the bus that I've asked most other people who've come on the show. I wanted to ask you, if you make it to the city council, do you agree that if there's what's going on in the buses, the dangerous threats, people being hospitalized, do you believe that the city council, I know they don't have a legal obligation, but you believe you have a moral obligation because of your constituents to show some concern and address the issue with their families and let them know, like the 2 women in the hospital. Would you think, if that happened when you were a city councilor to your constituents, would you take the step of, do you think you would have the responsibility to address it publicly with the people?
Yes, I would. I don't know what happened to the 2 people that got injured. One got injured over by Stairway to Recovery, and the other one got injured at a high-rise
Sullivan Towers.
At Sullivan Towers. And I do know that the mayor in the city council, you did nothing to reach out to the families, to let them know. And I think that is downright ugly, and it's rude, and they should have notified the people. I'm going back 2 years. I was at the Westgate Mall, and I was trying to get on the 4 bus, and the 4 bus pulled away, and I went off of the curb.
In your wheelchair?
Yeah, and the driver called it in, and I heard the dispatcher say, "Oh, he's probably a drunk. Just leave him there."
Seriously?
Yeah, that happened like 2 years ago, and
Are you aware that every bus has working cameras and voice controls that can hear everything you say?
I know they do, but I don't think the Bat Company really wants to look into it. I mean, I'm a great rider of Bat. I love what they're doing, with the free rides, but they need to train their drivers on how to strap in people properly. I was on a bus a few months ago, and they only strapped in the left side, the right side.
Now, do they have to ask you if you want it done first, or do they have to do that by law?
They have to do that by law.
And they didn't.
And they didn't. They didn't, they strapped in the front side, but not the back.
Okay.
And it's really, it's really ugly when the Bat companies don't take responsibility for people getting hurt. I think just like the mayor, they sweep it under the rug and they don't want to deal with it. Now,
sadly, that's true.
If there was a lawsuit on those 2 people that got injured, the city of Brockton and the Bat Company has to pay out. I don't know if they did. I don't know if they will, but they should settle with those 2 injured people.
Well, what
I let it go. I let it slide. I didn't say nothing. But
when you went off the curb, did you fall out of your chair? Or?
I fell out of the chair, and the chair landed on top of me.
Now, are you one of the people, because this is what I'm finding, this is why I'm working with the other candidate for mayor, Luz Villar.
Yeah,
where we're going to go into the community and we're going to try to start informing them in the language that they understand about their rights on the bus. Did you know you have the right on the bus to be safe, to be seated before the driver moves, so the bus doesn't move while you're standing in front of the line?
That's the thing.
Were you aware of it? I just don't know. If you were aware of
Yes,
it.
I am aware of it, but this is the thing. When I'm at the mall, or I'm at the
Market basket.
market basket, they take other people on the bus first. They don't say, "Oh,
No,
stand-"
wheelchairs are supposed to go first.
But they don't do that. I noticed this. I observe everything I see. They take you first, and then they say later, "Oh, there's no room on the bus. You have to wait. Get 30 minutes."
No,
they should be taking the
law says
wheelchair
that
first.
Those seats, when you walk under the bus,
Yeah, I know
those
where
seats
they
on
are.
the side, with the seats flip up,
Yeah.
those are for handicapped passengers.
Right.
They don't use the word disabled; they say handicapped, or for people who who have trouble walking.
Right.
But first and foremost, they're for wheelchairs.
But they don't take the wheelchairs first at the market basket. I've seen drivers load on people, and then the last person to get on the bus is a wheelchair or someone in a walker. They don't let them on first, and it's the same way at the Bat terminal.
Now, are you aware, because I know a lot of people in the city don't know what the laws are, the procedures are to report a problem. Are you aware that there's a procedure to report a problem?
No,
Like
I didn't.
Like you were describing, where they took off, and you fell off the curbing, or they wouldn't take you on first to strap you in? Because those are all things that there's a procedure to report it. Many people aren't aware of it. That's why I want to get out to the people.
I'm not aware of it either.
Well, that's why I need to get out there and get this out to the people.
And I mean,
Because, first of all, I want to say, it should be BAT's responsibility to get this message, all these messages out to the people, all these rules and policies and laws to keep people safe. That is why I've been fighting for so long to get the city council to exercise their power and authority to issue a resolution that would bring back before the city council, and they would be held accountable to explain to the city council and the public what is going on in the bus, why it's still going on for 29 months now, and why they can't get a hold of the problem, why there's this group of drivers, because there are a lot of good drivers, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of really nice drivers, but there's a group of drivers that don't care. But I don't know if they don't care because they really don't care, or BAT management is pushing them to keep the buses moving, keep them moving, get the people on and hit the gas and go, because they have to keep schedules around the city. Otherwise, the whole city will back up in traffic. But the law says safety comes first. Safety comes first. It's supposed to, but it doesn't, and that's what we need to address. But I'm glad you said that, because it makes what I'm doing more important, because I need to get out to the community to let the people know what the law is, how to report a problem, how you can be safe, because there are laws there that protect you, but they're useless if you don't know what they are.
True. And I totally agree on you, with you about how we asked for the National Guard to be at the high school.
I was for it, but the mayor decided against it.
But
I was for it, but not with machine guns or anything.
No.
Just as a security force to be there, to be seen.
Right.
Not to confront the students,
right,
unless they're attacking somebody. But I was against any weapons, them carrying weapons.
The thing is, with the National Guard being there, all these students, they got shot, stabbed.
Teachers, administrators too.
Your teachers and the directors of the school, that should not be happening. The kids are there to learn. Keep the attitude at home. Do not bring it into our schools. There's no place for gay violence. And if I am elected as city councilman, I will put a stop to it, or there will be a fine going down to all parents. I will not stand for this, and I will not accept anything that happens to the parents. The parents should be held accountable for all their kids' actions. And if they're not, then they should be fined each and every day that their kids or daughters or sons are put out of school.
I agree, because a lot of times now in our society today, a teacher has to be a mother, a father, a psychologist, a doctor, has to be a friend. The teachers aren't there to do that. The teachers are there to teach.
Right.
The teachers are there to teach. There are services within the schools and within the school department to help kids who have problems, but the teachers teaching the classes are there to teach the classes. They're not there to deal with all these other issues. And that's what I don't understand we're going through, and we expect the teachers to do everything, and teachers can't do everything. I'm sorry, they just can't. It has to fall to the parents. The parent has to take a responsibility. And I know a lot of them work, trying to raise the family and work and feed the family, but you have to have some responsibility to be involved. You have to find a way. I mean, my parents found a way when I was a kid. They all worked, and they always found a way to take care of things. They went to all the parent-teacher conferences, and they were involved. When the school superintendent used to call my parents, and say, Richard, your son Richard, he skipped class again. Well, my parents made sure I didn't do it again. I won't tell you what they did, but my parents were there. They got involved. They made sure they kept track. We've lost that. And I'm sorry I didn't take your time, and it's your time to talk.
I'm right there with you, Richard. I had, my mother was a registered nurse, as I told you in the last episode. She was a registered nurse at the West Roxbury VA and also at Brockton Hospital. when she got ill and had multiple strokes, I had to stop going to the George Payne School and stay home and take care of her. I don't know how many times, or can count how many times, that the school truant officer came and asked me why I wasn't there. I brought him in the house. I said, look, my mother is bedridden, multiple strokes. I'm the only one that can take care of her. Dad's at work. He worked at the Norfolk County Hospital in Braintree as a security and maintenance. My grandmother owned, she owned your Dunnington, your drugstore.
I remember them, yeah.
She owned a lot of your businesses. She was a very well known. She even came to the teachers' conferences, and the teachers actually came to the house to talk to the parents back in the heyday. And I think the teachers should do that again. We should bring that back, but I know it's not in the budget. I know that the budget is basically with a lot of lawsuits. We need to figure out why we got the lawsuits, who is bringing them, and see if whoever the mayor is going to be after Robert Sullivan, see if he or she can fix it. And I will work closely with the mayor. I will make sure that the mayor and I work together to take out all these corrupted politicians that are on the council and send them packing. And we will hire new ones that give a damn about Brockton. The mayor, as though you said, sweeps everything under the rug. That's not going to happen anymore.
But I just want to interject here, not to criticize what you're saying. What you're saying is absolutely right. But what I found is the problem, yes, the mayor is wrong, the city council is wrong for what they did, for lying, for mishandling the money, for the incompetence, for the dereliction of duty. They are responsible for that. But I want to say, and I always get a lot of grief when I say this, but we, the people, allowed them to do it by not holding them accountable. We looked the other way when they were doing it and never demonstrated and fought back. So we really are the problem, because it is our city, but we've allowed the politicians to take control of it. And we need to just, through the ballot box, we need to get out there and vote and take the city back and let the politicians know, hey, no more. The city's ours. We're taking it back. We elect you to represent and serve us, to do what we to work for us, to make our lives better. You need, and we need to just. I can't get through to the people to understand this, because I want to say to the people, if you're about 40, 45 years or older, it's too late for you. Brockton's not going to change for you, but you need to fight for your kids and your grandkids so they have a better Brockton and experience a better life than you had. Now, I also take grief for saying that too, but I'm just one of these people that wants to be totally honest with you. So anyway.
Well,
we got about another 5 to 6 minutes.
I have your 3 step-daughters that I raised in a divorce. And I taught my 3 girls your true values. Helping an elderly person across the street, yes, ma'am, thank you, ma'am.
Well, I always did
no,
that.
ma'am.
Even now, today, I do the same thing.
And their kids obey their mothers. They help out the elderly. They help out the handicapped. They ask their neighbors if they need anything. This is what these parents should be teaching these kids. And not taking knives and guns and get billy clubs to school to start a fight. It's the parents' fault for bringing up these kids in this way. Now, your dirt bikers, the 4-wheelers, the you know, none of them got license plates. And the mayor said that they have drones that are watching them, watching where they're going. There are no drones. There are no protection of Brockton. I seen a four-wheeler cut in front of in front of a car that almost hit a pedestrian 3 days ago.
Really?
I will not stand for that as a council at large. We need to hold these bikers accountable. And as I said the last time, the cops. The cops have to be accountable. They have to, if they can't chase these kids, then find some other solution to get them off of the streets before someone gets hurt. They drove up on a sidewalk in front of my building and almost hit me last night. I mean, I was sitting up against my building, and they came about an inch away from me, and then they went like this, get to my hat. I don't go for that. If I could get up
This
with
is
this,
right here on Main Street.
right down where I live at
Yeah, I know where you-
106.
I know where you live.
If I was able to get out of this, that four-wheeler would have had a lead pipe across his face.
Well, some part of that problem is the fact that the police chief, Brenda Perez, she's not well liked within the force, with the other officers. She's largely recognized as, I'm sorry to say this, she's also recognized as someone who's also in Mayor Sullivan's back pocket. She does what she's told to do by the mayor to a large extent. So hopefully the new mayor, whoever that is, whether it's me or one of the others, someone's going to be in there. Hopefully we can get a Brockton police chief who understands what needs to be done and is willing to do it and get it done. But right now the police chief, I'm sorry to say, is not what we need here in Brockton.
What do we really need?
Well, we need police that care.
What we really need is we need the state police, because I seen them in Brockton.
Brockton's one of their
I hate to say it, they put the Brockton police to shame. They do more for the handicapped, the elderly, and the regular citizens of Brockton. I don't ever see a Brockton cop walking the beat. I don't ever see a cop car going down Main Street. You're looking and you're telling homeless people to get out of the doorways. I don't see any cops coming up to you and saying, are you okay today? Is anyone bothered you? And if so, what's the problem? We have a park that's right next to your stairway. And all the druggies and all the drunks, they hang out there all night. There were cops visited there last night because one guy was getting into it with people like me, just sitting there playing dominoes. It needs to stop. The violence needs to end. And we are the people that live and you grow up and you raise up your kids in Brockton, and it's time for us to tell the mayor, the councilman, and the police chief, and whoever else will listen, enough is enough. We're not taking it no more.
I said exactly that to the mayor in a speech for the city council. I don't think I put it online yet, where I said exactly that to the mayor. But anyway, we've got a couple minutes. I wanted to quickly say about the Brockton Housing Authority, because I live in a Brockton Housing Authority property. And we live in such fear of crime and break-ins and drugs and all the things that go on. And to give an example of that, I want to tell you what happened last night. Last night, when about 5 o'clock, I called the station. And I wanted to get the call logs for all the police responses to where I live in Brockton Housing. And you're not going to believe this, but this is true. And this is going to give you an idea how unsafe it is to live in Brockton housing, because the way they run it, how unsafe it is in our old age to live there. I asked for the reports for the last 4 years, and I got a call back a couple hours later that Mr. Ripper, we had to stop checking back because we're more than 3,000 police responses to the property. And we don't know if, because we're going to charge you for all this information. I said, no, that's too much. So I'm going to do it a year at a time. And it's just amazing. Over 3,000 police responses, calls for help to where I live. Over 3,000 in 4 years. And that's not the total. They just stopped counting. That's how dangerous it is to live in Brockton housing. I don't know if any of your constituents have talked about how unsafe it is to live in housing, and we have 2 minutes.
In my building, a lot
That's
of
right, you live in housing too.
Well, I live in Pedro. The federal housing is different. Your Peabody Properties is privately owned, and I will say this: the manager is very, very
On-site manager at night? Because we don't have that.
No, they don't have it, but she's there from 8:30 until 4:30, and she is a very good manager. She'll listen. She'll do whatever it takes to prevent the crime in the building. But a lot of these high rises, people, you go in your door and there's someone trying to get in.
They piggyback behind you.
And they walk in right behind you. It happened at our place, but the manager's aware and she puts a stop to it. But packages are missing at high rises. The Federal Express trucks will come. They
just drop them off in the lobby and people take them?
Yeah. And
Do you have cameras in your lobby? Or?
We have them, but my manager doesn't check them all the time.
Okay.
Only once in the blue moon.
Okay.
But
We only have about 1 minute left. I wanted to ask you, do you have any idea of how many police responses come to the property you live in, the housing? Or
we have,
do you hear them coming in at night all the time?
oh yeah, we have false alarms sometimes. Sometimes
that requires a fire department response
yeah,
too.
fire and police. Sometimes the actual calls are actually going on. Someone's having chest pains or whatever. But as far as constantly, I'm going to say maybe
Every other day or?
Maybe 4 times a week.
4 times a week, well, about every other day. Okay, we got about 30 seconds. You want any final comments you want to say to your constituent, anybody there?
To all of the citizens who are from different nationalities and from different ethnic groups, we have to band together. We need you to speak up and tell us what is going on so we can help. Me and Richard will do whatever it takes to make Brockton safe again. So it's up to you, good citizens of Brockton. It's up to you, the businesses, to step forward and say enough is enough. We love you guys. We want you safe. And Richard and I will do whatever it takes to make Brockton safe again. Thank you, and have a great evening and day.
Okay, that's it for this show. Thank you for.